One thing that has been ongoing behind closed doors between both Disney and South Park Studios has a lot to do with their shenanigans against Comedy Central and Paramount Global, the parent company, and their attempts at making a very big parody about the whole woke nonsense within Hollywood and race swapping and gender swapping that has really been something that Disney has been fully embracing with a lot of their live-action remakes, and more to come in the future as well. Well, recently, South Park took action back against Disney after Disney attempted to do so previously, and there's a lot to discuss about what's been going on between the Comedy Central heads, the Disney heads, and right dead smack in the middle, Trey Parker and Matt Stone. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. Now, come October 27th, save the date, it's going to be a very big day for South Park fans and even for a lot of normal people that may have not tuned into South Park just yet or have not even seen a single South Park episode in recent years. It's going to be a big deal because they're really going to send a message to the general public that what woke Hollywood has been doing and what Disney especially has been promoting with the whole concept of the swapping of race and gender has just gone beyond ludicrous. Now, we know that Trey Parker and Matt Stone have been very busy behind closed doors, but one major development, one major and crucial update has a lot to do with South Park Studios and Comedy Central's recent actions, now going back against Disney, and how it really has reached an excellent level that I think is going to be the pinnacle of both Parker and Stone's career over at Comedy Central. Let's dive into all of this, shall we? Now, with Comedy Central and South Park Studios dealing with the recent actions that were made by Disney in response to their Panderverse teaser, one major development has to do with South Park now taking action against Disney in return, and how. Now, though Disney recently dropped their legal threats and warnings against Comedy Central after getting obliterated in their recent meeting with Comedy Central's legal team about the use of parody, Disney already made new warnings to the studios of South Park that they will initiate another legal meeting again if this event episode creates a severe suffered loss in revenue on their end of the spectrum. The crucial update now to this ongoing situation is that both Comedy Central and South Park Studios, along with Paramount Global, the parent company, are beginning to take action by preparing their legal team ahead of time to inform Disney that what they are doing is completely in the wrong and could never be directly proven that Comedy Central would be responsible in the loss of Disney's revenue. Now, this is something that both Trey Parker and Matt Stone are also involved in which legal meetings, of course, are actually being put into the process of getting set up before Disney sets theirs. Comedy Central plans to do this before the debut of the South Park event episode on Paramount Plus, which debuts on the 27th. In addition to this, both Parker and Stone are not only preparing to parody Mickey Mouse again by making this event into a 3-part series, but Parker and Stone, along with Comedy Central, are now preparing and have held conversations on creating an animated/cartoon Bob Iger to be a big part of the 3-part event that they are already actually creating. With Iger in the hot seat lately within Florida, Comedy Central is indeed developing a strategy for a story to be told about Bob Iger's attempts with Culture Wars to become a parody in the second part for joining the Panderverse that they actually want to debut in 2024. Now, guys, let me just pause here quick before I get to the next big piece about this development, is that I'm not quite sure if Disney saw this coming, but you can't reason with South Park Studios. You can't reason with Trey and Matt. They are very much going to go after anybody and even themselves. They are very equal-driven people. They believe in creating a parody on anybody, anything, any country or organization or studio, it doesn't matter. They have dealt with countless lawsuits where the opposite side have really just never actually met their demands at all. Trey Parker and Matt Stone usually always win in their scenarios, and Disney, really is beginning to get very desperate in this ongoing drama happening behind the scenes. Now, We already know that the Streaming Wars was initially set up for one part that grew into a two-part show, and they want to make a part 3 as well. They're now doing the same exact process with joining the Panderverse. They really want to make this into a full-fledged thing. They really want to go all out with all of this. So this is where things get even more serious for Disney's end, is that not only will they be creating a parody in the return of Mickey Mouse, but they're going to be doing a parody of Bob Iger. This is something that has been so large behind the scenes at Comedy Central that they really just can't quite really keep it contained. They really want to make sure that Bob Iger is going to be the new Mr. Mouse, so to speak, over at South Park Studios. If you thought Mr. Mouse was big, they want to make Bob Iger the next big thing on creating a parody over at Disney. So, jumping into the next thing here, alright? Now, in addition to this, Comedy Central is indeed developing a full-on strategy for a story to be developed about Bob Iger and his overall fall within Disney. Comedy Central, in fact, made this clear in their last meeting with Disney that they do actually have full-fledged plans to parody the heads and bigwigs of Disney, just to give them a heads up about their attempts to share their view of Disney with the entire world and general public. Matt Stone is reportedly planning to do the voiceover work of Cartoon Iger, while Trey will be returning for the role and voice of Mr. Mouse, aka the Boss. Now, though Mickey Mouse enters the public domain in January of 2024, this is going to give South Park unlimited resources and attempts to do this further. One big pitch that was reportedly proposed by Parker and Stone to the Comedy Central heads was to also drag former Disney CEO Bob Chapek into the equation to mock the common meme Battle of the Bobs. The discussion has been so large behind the scenes over at Comedy Central, it has been rattling throughout all of the studios. The ratings for joining the Panderverse Part 1 is already projected by Comedy Central to be astronomical, and numbers that they have never seen before over at the studios. Parker and Stone have a plan to announce a Part 2 and 3 by the beginning of 2024, well after the release of Part 1 on October 27th. Now, again, here's the bigger deal and the bigger picture about what's going on here is that Parker and Stone, they always use conflicts and drama as a source of material. And it's much like how comedians always work, right? They use their day-to-day lives, their conflicts, their situations, to kind of use that as material on stage. Parker and Stone are no different. They like to use any of their either misfortunes or conflicts that they have dealt with in life or what's going on in the world. As controversial as some things may be, they don't care. They will do what they have to do to create a parody. And they're now going all out with Bob Iger, the current status at Disney, Mickey Mouse entering the public domain that's going to also be mocked in 2024. They really are going to be doubling down with this 3-part event now for joining the Panderverse. So anyway, guys, I would like to hear your overall thoughts on this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. From night to moon, we hear them moans again.